musical career, is there one moment in that, one record in that, one dance in that you would pick out as being his absolute pinnacle?
Billie Jean, baby.
Billie,
the night of the 25th Motown. That show, when he and his brothers performed, and then Michael did his own thing.
Did that moon?
And he was moonwalking across there. Ooh. I mean, for me, that was the highlight. That was the pinnacle of Michael Jackson. And I think that's when the world realized that this is above and beyond a lot of the entertainers that are out there. He's in a
world of his own.
Yeah, all by himself.
All by himself.
You know, and for me, that was the top spot of his career for me.
Mm. Have any of you tried to moonwalk?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I tried. That wasn't very successful.
Who you think taught Michael? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're still trying.
Well, it's always good to keep learning in this business, they say.
Yeah. But you know, the thing that I loved most was every night when we would go on at 8 o'clock, and we had to go on like clockwork, okay, because that was what was expected of us. Not 8:01, not 8:02, but exactly 8 o'clock every night of those tours. And when the Jacksons would come on, Michael would come out, and he was so little. I mean, he was nothing but skin and bone. And he would walk out there on that stage, and he would grow from 4'5" or whatever he was to 10 feet tall. He was a giant on that stage, and so were his brothers. I mean, I keep saying he and his brothers because it was hard to separate them sometimes in my mind, you know, because it was such an organized family. And they just performed on that stage, and Michael was he would just take those people in his hands and do what he wanted to do with them. And what he wanted to do with them was totally entertain them. And he did that. He did that night after night after night after night, which brings us to this point that we recognize is Michael Jackson. He's the total entertainer.
Okay, and lots of people who've been talking to us today have been saying that he was a perfectionist. Did he have to work hard to make it look like that?
Yeah. People think that what we do in the entertainment field, you just wake up and go have something to eat and walk on stage and perform. And no one really has the idea of how many hours and days and months and years, and in our case, decades, that you work at this, and that you put your time, your heart, your effort. We used to have meetings at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sure the Jacksons did the same thing. But yeah, Michael was tireless when it came to all of his routines. He worked those dancers to death. Made sure that everybody was on cue. Everybody knew what they were on. And so, you know, he put his heart and his soul, and you could see that. Anytime he took the stage, you could tell that Michael lived to be on the stage.
I mean, if you look at the footage right now, the tour that was to take place, you know, and I'm quite sure they would have taken it around the world. He was working. He was still working.
Yeah.
And had people flying in from all over the world to, you know, for auditions, to be a part of that moment. We never stopped. I mean, the Commodores, we going to a sound check. But there's some things that we have to work out, even though we had a successful performance last night. Still things that we have to work out. Right. It never stopped. It never stopped, not as long as you're in this business. And I just give it all up to Michael, because he was the king of it all. King of pop, king of disc king.
And JD, we were expecting him here in London. What do you think about him making a comeback? Was that going to be a good thing? Would he have been up to the standard we would have expected?
Oh, it was going to be huge. I'm sure of it. And just to look at how long it took for all the concert dates to sell out. And it was going to be another chance for him to gather up another generation of fans. I'm sure that all of his current fans would have taken their kids out to see Michael, and he would have started it all over again. He would have just spread the seeds with this tour for another generation of fans, and this guy could have just gone on. Yeah. Unfortunately, he was taken away from us too soon. But this guy just growing, and you know, he's just going to be sad.
But I'll tell you how popular the tour was in the States. I met someone before we came over here. They live in the States, but they had purchased 6 tickets to come to the show. They were going to fly from the United States over here to see the show. So that gives you an idea of how big it is. Yeah.
Just a thought to you, William, about, I mean, we know he had a troubled private life. Do you think that